There was a man once full of dreams, hopeful, driven, and boundless. In his youth, life was an open road, every possibility within reach. He believed the world was his to shape, and every challenge was just another opportunity to rise. But as time passed, something changed. The spark of ambition began to dim as he started comparing himself to those around him. His friends, his colleagues, everyone seemed to be ahead, achieving what he had once longed for. They were living the life he had dreamed of, and yet he was left behind. And that's when doubt crept in, quietly at first, like a whisper. But soon it grew louder, drowning out his confidence, his motivation, his drive. He asked himself, "Why am I still here? Why hasn't anything changed?" The weight of these questions became unbearable. He began to question everything, his abilities, his worth, his potential. Though ambition remained in his heart, he felt stuck in an invisible prison, built not by the world, but by the fear and self-doubt he allowed to take root inside him. This is where the real battle begins. It's not the world holding him back, it's himself. And in this video, we'll reveal the lessons that the Stoics have taught us for thousands of years. Lessons that will help you break free from self-doubt, rise above fear, and live with unwavering strength and peace of mind. Now, let's begin the journey to reclaim your true power. If you know someone struggling with self-doubt, share this with them. Help them find the strength to rise. 1. Your greatest enemy. Have you ever felt like something was holding you back, but couldn't quite put your finger on it? You've worked hard, you've dreamed big, yet somehow you feel stuck, like you're standing still while the world rushes forward. What if I told you the biggest obstacle you'll ever face isn't the world around you, but the version of you that doubts, hesitates, and listens to fear instead of possibility? The truth is, the greatest enemy you will ever face is not society, not circumstances, but the weaker version of yourself. Take a moment and think about it. All those moments of hesitation, those fears of failure that you allowed to take root in your mind, they are the real chains that bind you. They are the invisible prisons we build with our own hands. And like Marcus Aurelius said, the impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way. The real battle isn't out there in the world, it's within you. Every time you doubt your abilities, every time you put things off because you're waiting for the perfect moment, you're feeding that weaker version of yourself. That version is what holds you back, keeps you stagnant, and prevents you from ever realizing your full potential. You may feel it when you compare yourself to others, your colleagues, your friends, those who seem to be getting ahead while you feel left behind. But understand this, the only person you should be competing with is the person you were yesterday. Steve Jobs once said, "Your work is going to fill a large part of your life, and the only way to be truly satisfied is to do what you believe is great work." Jobs didn't wait for perfect conditions. He didn't let the world's expectations or his own doubts keep him from creating something that changed the world. He faced his own fears and overcame them. And that's what you must do too. Think about your own life. How many times have you avoided taking action because of fear? How many times have you allowed yourself to wait for the right time, only to find that time slipping away? I've been there too, struggling with procrastination, telling myself that I'd start tomorrow, that today wasn't the right day to begin. And then, one day, I realized that the only real obstacle was my own fear, my own doubt. The Stoics have long taught us that our thoughts shape our reality. If you believe that you are limited by external factors, then you will remain stuck. But if you change your mindset, if you confront your doubts and fears head-on, you'll unlock your true potential. It's not the world holding you back. It's the fear and self-doubt you allow to control you. What happens when you let go of self-doubt and fear? You realize you're capable of so much more. As soon as you take control of your mind and overcome the mental barriers you've placed in your own way, you'll start achieving more than you ever thought possible. Here's the truth. The moment you decide to stop doubting yourself, the moment you choose action over hesitation, you'll see just how much you can accomplish. That is the first step toward freeing yourself from the invisible chains you've built. But to get there, you must first confront this enemy within. The version of yourself that holds you back isn't some external force. It's the fear, the procrastination, the reluctance to start. It's time to stop waiting for the perfect moment to act, because the perfect moment doesn't exist. The only thing you need to start is the decision to take action. So, let's challenge ourselves today. Identify that voice of self-doubt, that hesitation, and take a step forward, no matter how small. When you make that choice, you'll see that action is the antidote to fear. Each decision you make will bring you closer to the version of yourself that is already waiting to emerge. But remember, it's a journey. Each step, no matter how small, is progress. And the more you take action, the more that weaker version of yourself will begin to fade into the background. The only thing standing between you and your success is you. So, who will you choose to be? The person who listens to the doubts, or the one who acts despite them? Let's begin this journey together. What's the first action you'll take today to defeat that inner enemy? Share your thoughts and start a conversation in the comments. The battle is personal, but we fight it together. 2. Fear and limits. Elon Musk stood at the edge of failure. His dream of launching SpaceX was met with doubt, skepticism, and financial ruin. Rockets exploded, investors lost faith, the media called him delusional. The fear of failure was immense, yet he did not retreat. He did not allow fear to define him. Instead, he used it, turned it into fuel, into obsession, into the relentless pursuit of his vision. Then there's J.K. Rowling, rejected by 12 publishers, told she wasn't good enough, ridiculed for believing in her story. The fear of never making it, of never seeing her words reach the world, was real. But she didn't let it stop her. She used that fear. She turned rejection into resilience. And today, Harry Potter is one of the most successful book series of all time. Fear is a liar. It whispers to you, you're not ready, you're not good enough, you will fail. And too often, we listen. We let fear build walls around us, keeping us trapped inside our own potential. But here's the truth. Fear is not your enemy. Fear is energy. Fear is fuel. It can burn you down, or it can ignite the fire within you. The choice is yours. Think about the last time fear held you back. Maybe it was fear of speaking up, fear of taking a risk, fear of stepping into the unknown. What did it cost you? How many opportunities have slipped away because you hesitated? How many dreams have you abandoned because you let fear dictate your decisions? The Stoics knew this battle well. Seneca once said, "We suffer more in imagination than in reality." We create scenarios in our heads, worst-case outcomes, rejection, failure, long before they ever happen, and in doing so, we become prisoners of a future that doesn't even exist. But what if you flip the script? Instead of thinking, what if I fail? Ask yourself, what if I succeed beyond my wildest dreams? Instead of fearing rejection, fear stagnation. Instead of fearing failure, fear regret. Marcus Aurelius, one of history's greatest Stoic minds, understood this deeply. You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. This means fear itself is not the problem. Your response to fear is. Look at the most successful people in history. They all felt fear, every single one of them. But they made a decision. You either move forward despite fear, or you let it control you. Now here's the hard truth. Fear doesn't go away. It will always be there. The difference between those who succeed and those who don't is this. Winners move forward anyway. So how do you use fear instead of letting it use you? 1. Reframe it. Instead of seeing fear as a signal to stop, see it as proof that you're pushing boundaries. If you're scared, it means you're growing. The unknown isn't your enemy, it's your teacher. 2. Take immediate action. The longer you wait, the stronger your fear becomes. The moment you feel hesitation creeping in, act. Small, immediate steps destroy fear. 3. Expose yourself to discomfort daily. Want to build mental resilience? Want to master self-discipline? Put yourself in situations where confidence is required. Speak up. Try something new. Take on the challenge you've been avoiding. 4. Accept that failure is part of the process. The most successful people aren't fearless, they are willing to fail. They know that each failure is a stepping stone to mastery. Imagine this. You're standing at the edge of a decision that could change your life. On one side is safety, comfort, familiarity. On the other side, uncertainty, risk, fear, but also growth, success, freedom. Which side will you choose? Because at the end of your life, you won't remember the moments you played it safe. You won't feel proud of the times you let fear hold you back. You will only regret the chances you didn't take, the voice you didn't use, the action you never made. So I'll ask you again, will you let fear control you, or will you use it as fuel to rise? 3. The weight of the past. Holding on to anger is like drinking poison and expecting the other person to die. The past can be a weight heavier than any burden you carry. It clings to you, whispering doubts, regrets, and failures, making sure you never forget. The broken relationships, the missed opportunities, the mistakes that haunt you when the world is quiet. If you let it, the past will wrap itself around you like chains, trapping you in a life you no longer want but feel powerless to change. I know this feeling. I've carried the weight of my own regrets, choices I should have made, words I should have spoken, actions I wish I had taken. For years, I let those ghosts shape me, convincing myself that my past was a life sentence and that I could never be more than the sum of my mistakes. But that was a lie. The past is only as powerful as the meaning you give it. It is not a prison. It is a lesson. Thomas Edison understood this. He failed over 10,000 times before he finally succeeded in inventing the light bulb. But when asked about his failures, he didn't see them as losses. He said, "I have not failed. I've just found 10,000 ways that won't work." He refused to let the weight of past failures dictate his future. That is the difference between those who rise and those who remain stuck. Those who break free understand that the past is meant to be learned from, not lived in. How much of your time is spent looking backward, reliving old conversations, regretting things you can't change, holding on to moments that no longer exist? But here's what Stoicism teaches us. What's done is done. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." The past is not within your control. It never was. Yet we convince ourselves that if we replay it enough, we can change it. But all we do is rob ourselves of the present. We drain our energy, our focus, our ability to move forward, all for the sake of something that can never be rewritten. Think of your past as a backpack filled with stones. Each stone represents a regret, a failure, a painful memory. And every day you wake up and carry that weight. You feel it in your hesitation, your doubts, your fears of repeating old mistakes. But ask yourself this, why are you still carrying it? What purpose does it serve? If something is weighing you down and stopping you from moving forward, why do you continue to hold on to it? Letting go is not forgetting. It's not pretending the past didn't happen. It's choosing to no longer let it define you. It's choosing to stop reliving the pain, stop feeding the regret, and instead redirect your energy toward what lies ahead. Every moment you spend dwelling on yesterday is a moment stolen from tomorrow. You can't move forward if you're always looking back. The way forward is simple, but not easy. Reframe your failures. Stop seeing them as proof of your inadequacy and start seeing them as lessons. Everything that has happened to you has prepared you for what's next. The mistakes, the losses, the heartbreaks, they were never meant to break you. They were meant to build you. The only real failure is refusing to learn from them. Write down what you've been carrying. Look at it, acknowledge it, and then ask yourself, does holding on to this serve me? If not, let it go. Release it. And then take one small step forward. Because action is the only thing that has the power to break the cycle. You are not your worst mistake. You are not your biggest failure. You are not the person who gave up. You are the person who is still here, still fighting, still choosing to move forward. The past is not your identity unless you allow it to be. Who you were yesterday is gone. Who you choose to be today is all that matters. At the end of your life, you won't regret the failures. You won't regret the risks you took, the times you tried and fell short. But you will regret the moments you let slip away because you were too afraid to let go. So ask yourself, what is one thing from your past that you are ready to release today? Say it out loud. Write it down. Leave it behind. Because your past is over. Your future starts now. 4. No one is coming to save you. What are you waiting for? A miracle? A lucky break? Someone to step in and pull you out of the mess, the struggle, the uncertainty? Here's the truth. No one is coming. There is no knight in shining armor, No last-minute rescue, no secret mentor who will hand you the keys to your perfect life. If you're drowning, you either fight to swim or sink beneath the weight of your own excuses. You are the only one who can save yourself. Stephen Hawking understood this better than most. At 21, he was diagnosed with ALS and given just a few years to live. The world expected him to give up, to accept his fate. But he didn't. He took control of the only thing he could, his mind. And in doing so, he reshaped our understanding of the universe. Hawking had every reason to surrender, but instead, he became a testament to what a human being can achieve when they refuse to be a victim of circumstance. Most people won't admit it, but deep down, they are waiting for something. They are waiting for the economy to improve, for the right opportunity, for someone to give them permission to act. They are waiting for life to get easier. But life doesn't get easier. You just get stronger. Stoicism teaches us that control is an illusion when applied to the external world, but absolute when applied to ourselves. Epictetus once said, "Wealth consists not in having great possessions, but in having few wants." This means the moment you stop waiting for someone to fix your life, the moment you accept full responsibility for everything, your happiness, your failures, your progress, that's when you finally become free. Imagine this. You're trapped in a deep pit. It's dark. You're alone. And every time you look up, you hope someone will throw you a rope. But no one comes. Hours pass, then days, then years, and you're still waiting until one day you stop looking up. You start looking around and you realize you've had the ability to climb out this entire time. It was never about waiting, it was always about moving. How often have you told yourself, "I'll start when I have more money, I'll be happy when I find the right person, or I'll work harder when someone notices me"? How many years have you wasted waiting for permission? Nobody is going to give you permission. And nobody is going to do the work for you. The only way out is through. The only way forward is action. Think about the people you admire, whether it's Elon Musk, J.K. Rowling, or the athletes, entrepreneurs, and leaders who have built something meaningful. Every single one of them had reasons to quit. Every single one of them could have chosen the easy way out, but they didn't. They took ownership of their struggles. They made the decision to act, no matter how hard, no matter how long it took. So here's what you need to understand. You have everything you need right now. You have the intelligence, the resilience, the ability to start. Not tomorrow, not when life gives you the perfect conditions. Right now. Stop waiting for the world to change before you move. Stop looking for a handout, a shortcut, or a guarantee. It doesn't exist. The only certainty is this: if you don't act, nothing changes. Whatever problem you're facing, whether it's financial struggle, personal failure, or lost confidence, the solution starts with you, no one else. So what are you going to do? Are you going to sit and hope, or are you going to take control? Because at the end of the day, there are only two kinds of people: those who wait and those who build. Which one are you? 5. Anger and strength. There was a man who lost everything in a single moment of rage. A promising athlete, known for his discipline and skill, but with one fatal flaw: he couldn't control his temper. One night, during a heated argument, he snapped. One punch, one reckless decision, and his entire career was gone. What took years to build was destroyed in seconds. I've been there too. Maybe not in a way that destroyed my future, but in moments that cost me relationships, opportunities, and respect. I've let anger take control, saying words I couldn't take back, and making choices I regretted the next day. And for what? A few seconds of release left behind far greater consequences. Anger is a fire. If left uncontrolled, it spreads, consuming everything in its path. It blinds you, makes you reckless, and pushes you to act on impulse instead of reason. But here's the thing. Fire isn't inherently destructive. When harnessed, it's the force that fuels engines, powers cities, and shapes steel. The Stoics understood this well. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "How much more grievous are the consequences of anger than the causes of it?" In other words, it's never the initial spark that destroys you. It's what you allow that spark to become. Think about the last time you let anger dictate your actions. Did it solve the problem, or did it make things worse? Maybe it felt good at the moment, but was it worth it? Here's the truth. Anger is energy, And like all energy, you choose how to direct it. You can let it explode outward, damaging everything in its wake, or you can channel it into something productive, something that builds instead of breaks. Michael Jordan, one of the greatest athletes of all time, used anger as fuel. When he was cut from his high school basketball team, he didn't lash out. He didn't blame anyone. Instead, he used that anger to drive himself to train harder, to push past limits, to become unstoppable. Every time someone doubted him, every time he faced criticism, he didn't waste time arguing, he showed them through action. That's the difference. Weak men let anger control them. Strong men control their anger. The Stoics believe that emotions themselves are not the problem, it's how we respond to them. Seneca said, "A raging storm should not be met with another storm, but with calm." You cannot fight fire with fire. You fight it with discipline, with clarity, with restraint. So how do you control anger before it controls you? First, pause. The moment you feel it rising, stop. Don't react. Take a deep breath. Count to 5. Give yourself space before you make a decision you'll regret. Second, reframe it. Ask yourself, what is this anger trying to tell me? Often, beneath the rage is frustration, disappointment, or fear. Identify the real source, and suddenly the emotion loses its grip on you. Third, use it. Anger can be destructive, or it can be a driving force. Channel it into your work, your training, your goals. Let it fuel your discipline, your determination, and your commitment to self-improvement. The reality is that life will give you reasons to be angry. People will test you. Situations will frustrate you. But remember this: the strongest man in the room is the one who remains in control, who refuses to be ruled by his emotions, who directs his fire instead of being consumed by it. Your anger can destroy you, or it can shape you into something greater. The choice is yours. 6. The mirror test. Every morning, you stand before a judge who cannot be deceived. A judge who knows every lie you've told, every promise you've broken, every shortcut you've taken. That judge is your reflection. And the question remains the same. Are you proud of the man staring back at you? It's an uncomfortable test because the mirror never lies. It doesn't care about your excuses. It doesn't listen to your justifications. It simply reflects the truth. Some days, you might look into it and see a man moving forward, pushing himself, living with discipline and purpose. Other days, you see regret. A man who knows he's capable of more but has settled for less. That's the weight of this test, because whether you admit it or not, you already know the answer. I remember reading about Arnold Schwarzenegger during his early bodybuilding years. Every morning, he would look in the mirror and analyze himself, not just physically, but mentally. He would ask, am I becoming the man I promised myself I would be? If the answer was no, he didn't complain. He didn't make excuses. He adjusted. He corrected the course. He worked harder. That discipline, that unwavering commitment to the mirror test, didn't just make him a champion in bodybuilding. It built the mindset that later made him a global icon. Because here's the truth. Who you are today is the result of the choices you made yesterday. The Stoics understood this well. Epictetus said, "First say to yourself what you would be, then do what you have to do." Every action, every habit, every decision is a vote toward the man you are becoming. If you consistently choose laziness, avoidance, and fear, don't be surprised when your reflection shows weakness. But if you choose discipline, responsibility, and resilience, you'll begin to see something different, someone you respect. The mirror test is brutal because it forces accountability. There is no hiding from yourself. You can pretend in front of others, but deep down, you know if you're truly living up to your potential. You know if you've given your best effort. You know if you've avoided the work, if you've chosen distraction over discipline, if you've let fear make your decisions. So let's break this down further. What does it actually mean to pass the mirror test? First, it means you are conscious of your actions. You don't drift through life on autopilot, making choices without considering the long-term consequences. Every action is intentional. You are aware of how today's habits shape tomorrow's outcomes. Second, it means you hold yourself to a standard, not just when people are watching, not just when it's easy, but in the quiet moments when no one else will ever know if you took the easy way out. Character is built when no one is watching. Third, it means you adjust when necessary. We all fall short sometimes. There will be days when you look in the mirror and don't like what you see. That's fine. What matters is what you do next. Do you correct course, or do you keep repeating the same mistakes? This is why self-reflection is a habit that separates the strong from the weak. Successful people don't avoid their reflection, they confront it. They analyze their flaws, their mistakes, their failures, not to dwell on them, but to learn from them. Most people avoid the mirror, not because they fear their physical reflection, but because they fear confronting their own choices. They fear acknowledging where they fell short, where they hesitated, where they betrayed their own potential. They fear the truth. But here's the good news. The mirror test is not about perfection. It's not about never making mistakes. It's about honesty. It's about owning your reality and then doing something about it. If today you are weak, start building strength. If today you are undisciplined, start making commitments. If today you are lost, start seeking purpose. Because at the end of the day, the man in the mirror is the only one who truly knows the effort you've given, the battles you've fought, and the potential you've either lived up to or ignored. One day, that reflection will ask you a final question. Did you live in a way that made you proud? The answer is yours to create. 7. Action over emotion. How many times have you told yourself, I'll start when I feel ready? How many dreams have you put on hold because the timing wasn't perfect? Because the conditions weren't ideal? Because you were waiting for motivation, for confidence, for the right feeling? But here's the truth. If you wait until you feel ready, you'll never start. Think about the first time you jumped into a cold pool. You stood at the edge, hesitant. You told yourself, maybe I should wait, maybe I should ease in. But the longer you waited, the harder it became. The fear didn't go away, it grew. But the moment you took that leap, the moment you committed and jumped in, everything changed. The water wasn't as bad as you imagined. Your body adjusted. And suddenly, you were swimming. Life works the same way. The hardest part is starting. Take writing, for example. Many great authors don't wait for inspiration. They sit down and start writing, even when they don't feel like it. J.K. Rowling didn't wait for the perfect mood to write Harry Potter. She wrote through exhaustion, through rejection, through self-doubt. The same goes for fitness. The most disciplined athletes don't always feel motivated to train. Michael Phelps didn't win 23 Olympic gold medals by swimming only when he felt like it. He showed up day after day, regardless of how he felt. Because here's the reality. Action creates motivation, not the other way around. This is what the Stoics understood deeply. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this and you will find strength." He knew that if we let emotions dictate our actions, we would always be slaves to them. Most people operate backward. They wait to feel inspired before taking action. They wait to feel confident before making a decision. But the truth is, feelings are unreliable. They fluctuate. They betray you. If you let them control you, you'll spend your entire life waiting instead of doing. The disciplined man acts despite his emotions. Think about a soldier in battle. He doesn't wait until he feels brave to fight. He fights, and courage follows. A businessman doesn't wait until he feels confident to make tough decisions. He makes them, and confidence grows. Your emotions do not define you, your actions do. So what's the solution? First, adopt the 3-second rule. Whenever you feel hesitation creeping in, count down. 3, 2, 1, go. Don't give your brain time to talk you out of it. The more you overthink, the less likely you are to act. Second, embrace imperfection. Too many people wait for the perfect moment before starting. They want all the details figured out and all the conditions aligned. But perfection is an illusion. Jeff Bezos started Amazon in his garage. Elon Musk launched SpaceX knowing the odds were against him. They didn't wait for perfect conditions. They made progress despite uncertainty. Third, focus on momentum. The first step is always the hardest, but once you take it, the next step becomes easier. The more you act, the more motivation follows. The more momentum you build, the more unstoppable you become. This is what separates those who succeed from those who don't. The ones who take action, even when they don't feel like it, are the ones who achieve greatness. Because at the end of the day, there are two kinds of people, those who wait and those who move. Which one will you be? 8. You versus your ultimate self. Every morning when you wake up, you are faced with a choice. A choice between staying the same or stepping closer to the strongest version of yourself. A choice between comfort and growth, between stagnation and progress. But here's the truth. Your greatest opponent is not out there. It's not society, not your circumstances, not the obstacles in your path. It's the weaker version of yourself. The version that seeks excuses, that welcomes distractions, that chooses laziness over discipline. And every single day, whether you realize it or not, you are in a battle against that version of you. You know who you could be. The version of you that is disciplined, resilient, fearless. The version that doesn't wait for motivation but takes action anyway. The version that is not ruled by emotions but driven by principles. The version that is fully in control. The question is, are you becoming that man? This is not about perfection. It's not about comparing yourself to others. It's about one thing: progress. Are you better than you were yesterday? Are you stronger, more disciplined, more focused? Or have you allowed yourself to drift, to repeat the same patterns, to let another day slip by without purpose? The Stoics understood this battle. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Waste no more time arguing what a good man should be. Be one." In other words, stop thinking about what you could become. Stop planning, waiting, hesitating. Start being. Every moment is a decision. The food you eat, the words you speak, the thoughts you entertain, all of it is shaping who you become. If you give in to weakness today, it becomes easier to give in tomorrow. If you choose discipline today, it becomes easier to choose it again. This is why self-evaluation is essential. At the end of each day, ask yourself, did I move closer to the man I want to be, or did I step further away? The answer will tell you everything. The road to becoming your strongest self is not easy. It demands sacrifice. It requires discomfort. There will be days when it feels like progress is invisible, when the effort seems wasted. But that's when most people give up. That's when the weaker version of you wins. Keep moving forward, even when it's difficult, even when progress feels slow. The strongest version of you is not built in a day, but in the small, consistent choices you make. You already know what you need to do. The question is, will you do it? Life is not a single moment of triumph. It is a series of battles, some won, some lost, and the greatest battle is always within. Every day you face two choices: stay the same or rise to something greater. Remain comfortable or push forward despite the discomfort. Listen to doubt or act with certainty. You versus you. This journey is not about perfection. It is about progress, about mastering yourself, not just once, but every single day. Marcus Aurelius said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events." Realize this, and you will find strength. That is the essence of self-mastery, the understanding that nothing external has more control over your life than your own choices. Strength is not just physical. It is the ability to act with discipline when no one is watching. It is the courage to keep going when the easy option is to stop. It is knowing that the life you desire is built, not wished for. So ask yourself, what version of me will wake up tomorrow? Will I continue as I am, or will I take the first step toward becoming the man I was meant to be? Reflect, apply, and share your story below. Your battle is yours alone, but you are not alone in fighting it.